Thank you.
Look at your phone.
Yeah, watch me be the guy that phone rings.
Don't be that guy.
Right, don't be that guy.
Oh, hey, how's it going?
See, bro.
Call me out if it happens, okay? And so guys, while we're getting food,
Thank you.
I just want to kind of give a layout, an overview of why I asked everyone here today. You know, first of all, thank you all for coming. I really appreciate this. Like, ever since I've moved here, this is something that I wanted to see happen as part of the vision, is community coming together this way through the arts in a way that really speaks to the communities. Some of us might call it speak to the streets, but community has always been the streets.
Yeah,
Always been the front line. That don't make it bad. That doesn't mean we're out there doing anything negative, but we're in the streets. That's what we do. So I've always wanted to see this eclectic kind of collab come together since I've lived in Walla Walla. So I thank you all for saying yes. I'm asking each and every one of you to be humble in this conversation, because I've talked to everybody in this room at some point in time or another, and everybody at this table has expressed their passion about community in the conversation that I've had with them, and helping youth and community. And that was the similar common ground that I brought back from each individual conversation, was that we all want to see the same thing for our community, and we're all trying to build these things in an isolated manner. Not because we don't want to have a collaborative effort, we're too busy doing the work, right? Like we all are busy on the grind. Nobody's trying to be mean about it, we just busy doing the work. So if there's an opportunity for us to come together and start showing up and supporting each other, I think we have a bigger impact that help bring more resources, not only for the work that we're passionate about, but for the youth that we're trying to help. We get to bring that into our community on a larger scale. So I thank all of you for being here. I think we should start out by sharing, introducing ourselves and what organization or culture you're here on the behalf of. And then we'll just share a little bit about what your organizations are doing. And then we'll just keep talking about how we can start showing up and putting these events together in a collaborative effort in a way that we're going out together, right? Like, how do we show up and help the car scene, the breaking scene, the punk scene, the hip hop scene, right? Like, what does that look like? What does that help look like? What do you feel like you need? What kind of support? How can we support? And so that's just what the conversation is. I don't have any real solution or anything in mind, but just us having a good conversation and everybody leaving like, yo, I know a little bit more about other people in the community that's doing similar things, and I'm gonna be reaching out and rocking with them more and asking for help and vice versa, right? So I'll start first, and Peter, if you don't mind, I'm gonna let you talk about the Fifth Element piece, because I'm gonna rep the WW.
Oh yeah, of course.
All right, thank you. So I'm Rodney Outlaw. I've introduced myself to most of you. I really rep it's Walla Walla Music Organization. It's probably the oldest part of work that I started here in Walla Walla when I first got here. And Walla Walla Music Organization is a free after school music program that I started to teach music production and live sound to students in our community. And I train them, and I look for internships and part-time audio gigs that I can send these high school students out to do in our community, to help community, so that they can learn purpose of community, also while learning a skill set that could possibly earn them a paycheck that can help them with food and other things they might need. So yeah, that's what I'm bringing to the table today, is the Walla Walla Music Organization piece.
Oh, cool. My name is Yair. I'm a photographer and filmmaker. I say I'm not really associated with any organization specifically, but just documentary photography is like what I mainly do. And I just love documenting communities here in Walla Walla. And my latest project is doing a documentary on the Walla State Lowriders Car Club. But overall, over the past couple of years, I've just been documenting the breaking scene, the boxing scene, whatever music concerts are around. I just like to be involved in it all and just capture and document it.
Thank you.
My name is Daniel Brito Martinez, and I'm a member of Wall State Lowriders Car Club. I'm also the president of the Wall State Lowriders Bike Club. So yeah, we got that going on. We want to get the youth involved more in lowrider bikes, how to build them, how to trick them out, and that's one of my goals.
I want one.
We'll make one,
I'm dead serious. I want one.
Yeah, we'll make one.
Thank you.
My name is Jason. I'm the president of Washington State Lowriders Car Club. We started this up about 3 years ago, just trying to do what we can to get more involved with the community, more involved with the youth, and just about anything that we can get into. We started our club out of memory of my niece that passed away in a car accident. And so, yeah, everything that we do has been in her memory, and just making sure we keep her name alive and everything. It's been an amazing journey so far. I don't know how or what, but we've gotten so much luck with everything that we're doing with promoting it and just showing our passion, our love, our unity with everybody, who we collab with and everything that we do, the diversity of what we're trying to bring out to the community, and who we are. It's been amazing. I mean, I couldn't ask for anything more than what we've been going through so far with the ups and the downs and everything. Luckily, the city of Walla Walla has been helping us out with our annual trunk or treat that we do here as well. That's been great. We're going to be doing our third year trunk or treat this year here in October as well. We was able to collab with the gentleman Manny from Grandma's Kitchen and been able to get on with the Day of the Dead parade that they do here with the Hispanic Heritage Months and everything, the events that they do. And then some miracle came along, and we got our guy right here that came through and just started, asking if he could kind of promote us and do a documentary on us and just see, kind of see what we're about, what we're doing. And it's something that was very unexpected, when we started this, it was just kind of something to do for fun, just to bring the family out and have a good time and just, show what we do with our cars and, our passion, our art and everything that we do. And ever since, he's been in our life, it's been out there like crazy. It does, it's a lot. It does seem like it gets a little overwhelming sometimes, but I wouldn't trade any of it for anything in the world. I mean, everything that we're doing, everything that we're showing is what we all have passion in, I mean, our biggest thing is trying to reach out to the community to show our diversity and show that, hey, when you look at, people like all of us, we're not thugs, we're not weirdos, we're not drugs, we don't do bad things, we're trying to do the best we can. We're trying to show everybody, hey, we're all different, but we all come together and we can make things happen, we can have a good time, Just because we don't look the same, we don't dress the same, we don't have the same music or anything like that doesn't mean that we're all not one. I mean, I'm the type of person, I love everything. I love all kinds of music. I love all kinds of cars. I get into, just about anything I can get into, and it's just a passion, just being able to put myself out there with everybody and have fun and just bring the youth into it, bring the kids into it, bring the families into it, and just make it a big event that everybody can kind of come and just have fun. And that's the biggest thing, is trying to promote stuff like that, because when we're out in the city, we're out doing stuff in the community, that's what we want, is, people bringing the families out, everybody's coming together, everybody unifying and just having a good time and just showing the support for each other, because that's what we need, The biggest thing that I see, nowadays is, there's a lot of depression and a lot of suicide, a lot of stuff like that in youth, because so many of them are lost and not knowing where to go, what to do, and who to hang out with. Is this the right group? Is that the right group? There is no right group. What do you feel like you are? What do you feel like you want to be? What do you want to do? That's what matters. And it doesn't matter if you pick this, that, or whatever. You're a great person. Everybody's great people. They just need that time to shine. They need that opportunity to show who they are, what their passion is, what they want to do in life and stuff. And a lot of people don't get that opportunity. They get pushed away, they got shunned down, and people don't want to accept them, or it's like they shouldn't be that way. 100%. We got to be here for each other. We got to be able to help each other, grow with each other, learn from each other.
Yes.
I mean, we all come together with stuff like this, I mean, they're gonna have different ideas that we didn't think of. You're gonna have different ideas we didn't think of. We're gonna have different ideas you guys didn't think of.
Right.
Everybody comes together, and that's what makes it that networking. You know,
Yeah.
just kind of making everything happen. And it ain't gonna go as smooth and really work out the way we want it if we're not unified.
Exactly.
That's what it takes. It takes everybody at the table. Like we say with raising a kid, it takes a village. Same thing with the community helping out. It takes a village.
I need two
together.
villages.
But we love it. It's amazing. This is what we do. This is what we're trying to do. This year, our club is doing our first annual car show, so for us, it's a really big deal. A lot of the other car shows put on their own. The other car clubs put on their own car shows and everything. And this year, we decided to do ours over here in Walla Walla or actually Mount Freewater at the drive-in. Mainly because when we travel to all the other towns all over Washington State, there's not a single place that has a drive-in theater. The majority of people's never even been to a drive-in theater in their life. And so when we were pitching the idea, everybody's like, man, that's a dream come true. Take our classic car out to a show and have it at night, be able to chill in the car and watch a movie. You know, it's something very exciting. It's something we've been working hard on, planning on. And so we're hoping everything comes out, everything works great. But besides that, we want to, like I say, you know, we want to get involved in the community as much as possible. We work with the middle schools and stuff with, you know, events that they do and everything. And we're trying to get more involved and trying to figure out a way that we can set up some kind of a youth organization. But the biggest hiccup and the biggest thing that comes with that is having a location to be able to do, you know, some kind of a clubhouse.
For sure,
Right.
man.
Everybody can come together. To where when you go, it's not just one thing. You can go in and you got so many different things going on.
It's not a bar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and the youth can come in, have fun if they need anything. They need help with anything. They need clothing. They need food. They, you know, whatever that we can come together with. You know, and, I mean, if we have the right group and the right people, we'll be able to help and do as much as we can in the community and make that difference and make that you know, that outlook of just positivity of everything that we're doing and show the community, look, you know, this is what we're trying to bring more of, especially here in Walla Walla. You know, there's a lot that's going on here, but a lot of it's unseen.
Yeah.
And so that's the biggest thing. It's
We're
just
kept
putting ourselves out
underground.
there. Exactly. And it's like it shouldn't be that way. You know, I mean, it's not all about wine here. It's not. You know, there's a lot more to the city and to the town, and there's so much talent here. And then with having the universities and everything here, there's so much talent coming out of them as well. That, you know, here in town that they want to be part of, and that we're able to reach out and get that support and that actual acknowledgement and stuff from, you know, certain things. Just like when we met this gentleman, you know, he was with Walla Walla University, and it was just like, oh wow, how you guys recognizing us? But it's been amazing, you know, and just meeting the right people and just doing what we can is what's going to make that difference. And I'm happy to be here. I'm privileged to be able to have the opportunity to sit at this table with everyone that's here. You know, it's going to be amazing.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. That was awesome. Thank you, brother. Peter?
Thanks, Rodney, for the invitation. What he said. My name is Peter DeGrasse. My crewmates and people in the popping community also call me Studious Pete. I represent Fifth Element Project, which is a nonprofit that I started with Rodney Outlaw and Louis Miranda in 2020. And we create platforms for culture. One of the things that's probably most recognizable about what we do is the Get Down, which is an annual B-Boy B-Girl battle that we do in collaboration with Soul Felons. We also do classes. Rodney, Louie, and I teach a course in hip-hop culture at Whitman College that's open to local high school students, tuition free. And we're working on creating a partnership between Walla Walla Community College audio engineering program that Rodney created and what we're doing at Whitman College. We also teach classes, so we've offered some classes through 21st Century Community Learning Centers in public schools, classrooms. We've worked with Friends of Children of Walla Walla, so we do different classes that are youth-oriented, that are community-oriented. And then going back a little bit, I've done some collaborations with Alberto, Steve to my left, before Fifth Element, We collaborated with Sonia Groff, and we did popping and funk events at Building 270, out of the airport, at the Ink, in incubators before the Ink was in Milton Free Water. So, and we've also done some teaching connected to that. Yeah.
My name is Alberto Zavala. I go by Cookie. I've been in this community since '92. Me and a couple of friends started breaking here. I ended up moving to Portland, and I started a community out there with Solo Axe Crew. I was part of Solo Axe Crew. There was an after-school program we were part of, and I just wanted to bring that back home because we had that privilege when we were here. I don't know if a lot of people remember was it the Armory? There was a lot of opportunities for kids like myself and others that were troubled to put their energy, and I think that's what's missing. Just like you were saying, a lot of kids are just looking somewhere to put that energy, and instead of going somewhere else, there needs to be a positive place. I think that's why I enjoy breaking myself. A lot of the, anger times that you're feeling like nobody hears you, nobody understands you, you can take that on the dance floor and get that out. And so that's why I enjoy collabing with this element, going and participating, letting them know, what breaking really can turn into. People now see breaking as you have to do this. Like, no, it's what hip hop is. It's your lifestyle. It's how you represent yourself, not just on the dance floor, but outside the dance floor. And I think that's the thing that I enjoy about it, is giving those young kids that don't feel they're anybody to become somebody, because we are all somebody. To say that, I'm not like, no. That's why you got to find your personality, and that's why I enjoy and I want to give to the community. Whenever there's events, so people can see that and kids can get into it and identify themselves through dance. That's what we did through dancing, through breaking, and yeah, that was
For sure.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Coach.
I'm Dylan, part of Swordfish Perfume. We represent the punk scene here in Walla and share the same sentiment as these fellows were saying about the youth. Represent PAW. We're for the youth. We're kind of just happened.
Punk Alliance and Walla Walla.
Yeah, just his kiddo started bringing some friends around that were interested in music and stuff, and just realized that they were kind of, in it for the right reasons, and it just kind of just happened. Like a bunch of youngsters kept congregating, and so we just kind of we're there to help them out and make sure they're still staying focused on it, and
starting bands.
They're not party oriented, so we're all about that. But yeah, we're trying to help the youngsters out, trying to get like Rodney said, make sure we're seen.
Yeah.
I'm
Gilberto Alejandro Science, so you could call me Gil. I'm a member of Paul, Punk Alliance of Walla Walla, and Swordfish Perfume. And my goal is I wasn't doing music, I was doing art. And in the art scene, there really was no real, that's all in the schools with the youth. But I grew up in music and have done music before in the past. But me and this guy had started a band, and when I first did it, I didn't really want to do it. But when we finally played, we saw that there was, there's a huge scene again, and so my kid was a part of it, and just seeing all of them trying, and there is no place for them to congregate, which is like, man, just trying to throw shows and houses and stuff, trying to keep it safe, but there's just no place, no venues, but we still have made it happen. It's like DIY, if no one else can do it for you, you got to do it yourself. So I hope, that's how we've always done it, just with bands. And the punk, I wasn't born into the punk scene. Someone showed me it, and the amount of like community and working together. I was like, I want to be a part of this. And like, it was always about promoting other people, never just your band. And so, yeah, no, definitely very, yeah, I agree. It's all about the youth. I mainly do this because, you know, I see my kid and her friends and they need a place to be. And even if it's just outside in my backyard, you know, as long as we all have guitars and stuff, everyone's having fun.
Yeah.
So that's honestly, you know, why I'm doing it. Yeah.
My name is Strummer, and I am here to represent the punk community of Walla Walla, punk lines of Walla Walla Pop. I'm in the band Blackout. So, when I first came here, I didn't know about music scene. Where I came from was more like music based, but when I came here, it was just all like country and wineries. And then when I went to
Hot food, yeah, that's the spot, man.
Who was, sorry,
shout
no,
out June. And shout out to the little singer from Love Brunch. He introduced me to the music scene and really unlocked, you know, more opportunities for me. And
where was that show at? Just
the underground.
shout out Manny.
Yeah.
Shout out Manny.
Yeah, it was a great show. And after that, I talked to these guys, and ever since then, they've been kind of mentors, and they've been a big help in the musical journey and just like art journey of my life right now. Just big shout out and big thank you.
Thank you,
guys.
man.
Really appreciate it. And a shout out to Rodney too. He's a great host.
Huge shout out to Rodney. He got us all on this table.
That's right.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, thank you,
That was
man.
easy. Y'all showing up. Thank y'all. Y'all give yourself a shout out. Thank you.
I'm Ishi. I'm also a part of the punk community. I also do some work with Rodney with the Looney Bin Productions side. I also took Rodney's program at CC, the audio engineering classes, which is what put me on to all of this. Like, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Rodney, honestly. Like, I wouldn't have known these guys. I met Gil at the mixer. I was wearing their t-shirt and, you know, I've been in the band with this guy.
That's where y'all were.
Yeah, it was, man.
Yeah. I'm in the band with this guy, you know, we record, we just have fun, talk about stuff that's going on. And we're like stuff we like, movies, stuff like that, you know, just having fun. And with Rodney, I do video for him, I help him with video stuff. And yeah, just getting everything all out there for people to see.
My name is Jeff. My artist name is Soul. I'm blessed to be here and grateful to be here to speak on behalf of our local hip hop community. I'm associated with Looney Bin Productions as well, with Ish and Rodney. And our hip hop group name is Common Folk. And you know, it's just like it sounds. We're just common as everybody else, right? And so we're just trying to make that our motto, right? Treat everybody like ourselves, right? And we blend in with everybody. Everybody's a part, you know. So we try to do as much as we can to reach out to youth and create opportunities. Be their interest music or cars or, you know, a different type of music, whatever it be, we try to facilitate growth and healthy and safe opportunities for youth.
Thanks everybody for sharing. Now I think it would be a great time to just open up the floor and talk about a little bit about and share with each other visions and passions and ideas around maybe things you have on the calendar, things you would like to see on the calendars, right? Like, for example, I would say this first. You guys showed up yesterday to the Feed the Family event. I lit up, dude. I knew you guys, Jay told me y'all was gonna come.
Oh, yeah.
So I knew y'all was gonna come, but when y'all came, it really meant a lot.
Yeah.
And thank you. Like, I owe y'all big time for that.
Nah, man, we
Right.
just love to be able to be a part of it. I mean, you giving us the invite is enough, you know. I mean, we appreciate that big time, honestly.
Well, I appreciate that as well. Like, and I think like knowing that you guys are gonna also show up at the September 5th event for the punk rock concert, like that's gonna be so dope, right?
Yeah.
It's some of the best unity.
Yeah.
So I guess a big hope and dream for me would be like now, like the action is already started. Like the collaboration action is already started, right? right? And we get ready to start promoting the September 5th event, right? How do we tag their donation to raise to finish their documentary onto that marketing and promotion, right? Like that's something that I would hope that we could figure out how to do. So like when we start rolling out the flyers for the September thing and talking about the car show being there, start talking about or have a link or something that can go to the donation piece for that side.
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
that's the kind of help thing I see
Yeah.
when I think about collaborations, right? Like very often, I say this a lot to people. A lot of times that I think we don't think of, especially when it comes through a social media lens. It's like I love when we can put something out there and someone then shares that post.
Yeah.
But if you don't add a line to it, if you don't take the time to write one line, most people that's on that side that you shared it to, they won't engage with it. They won't respond to it. It's almost like you have to vouch for the post, right? And I share that with people all the time. So when I think about these kind of collaborative efforts, that's how my brain is always thinking. Like not just ask you guys to come be a part of the event, now how can we also attach other things onto it? You see what I'm saying? And the same with anything like these with the punk shows, right?
Oh yeah, that's important. You're right. I mean, the tagging on friends of it. Most of the time, our stories are just promoting other friends' shows.
Yes. Do they want something to eat?
Baby, actually, you guys want something to eat? Want something to eat?
But yeah, so that's just one of mine. Like we can open up the floor and continue the conversation. I just wanted to share that piece. I wanted to make sure I said thank you guys showing up, but also where my brain is kind of thinking, like, you know, September 5th right around the corner. Like, what could that next collaboration piece be, right? And making sure that we're utilizing it, impacting it in a very efficient way.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion and my brain. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah. And to touch on that as well, like with any of you guys, we're 100% supportive of anything you guys are doing, any event you guys got going on. Reach out, we'll be there.
Okay, yeah.
We wasn't able to do as big of a display that we usually do yesterday, but usually we'll bring out all the lowrider bikes.
Cool.
We'll have the cars, we got pedal cars, we got so many different things. We have artworks, we got artists inside of the clubs, we got tattoo artists. We're willing to promote any way we can. We have different locations. Our guy Poncho, right down the street, Studio 27. He's part of our club as well. We do a lot of the event stuff with him and everything as well, and try to promote his business. And so, I mean, even if we want to do something in front of his business front or anything of the sort, or whatever you guys got going on, don't ever hesitate to reach out. We'd love to support and do whatever we can to be a part of it.
Such a
100%.
class. Yeah, he's such a dope guy.
Yeah.
Such a dope guy.
Where's Studio 27? Is that what
Right
my
On
neighborhood?
Elder.
Yeah, right on all the, right actually the.
In front of Maple.
Yeah, right.
Yes,
Right on the Maple. Yeah.
Okay.
In front of
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Right next to
Right
the
across from
knocking point.
Yeah,
The
automotive.
room used to be.
Yeah, the automotive.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that too.
Yeah, right beside.
Okay, got it. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Great work.
We just want to be able to support and do as much as we can, so they really don't hesitate. We'd love to promote whatever you guys are doing 100%.
Yeah,
Just be
thank
part
you,
of it.
man. Us too, man.
Like I
I
said-
love what you guys are doing.
I'm
Yeah.
already in for trunk or treat, so just tell me what you guys need.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm gonna show up.
Candy.
Okay, I got you. I got you.
Not only that, this last year we was very blessed. We didn't pay $1 out of pocket. Our first year we paid for everything because we didn't think that the community would really support us.
Right.
And so we didn't really reach out. And so our second year we went out, we reached out, and we had like 27 sponsors that helped us.
Oh,
with
that's
we didn't
awesome.
pay nothing. And so our biggest thing when we do events is trying to just brainstorm and come up with ideas. What kind of fun activities can we create? What kind of games can we come up with that kind of get people more involved and stuff? And so that's the biggest piece whenever we're doing our events is just trying to figure out, okay, what kind of activities can we bring together to get more people kind of catching their eye and be like, oh man, that's fun. Let's bring family out. Let's do this. Just go hang out somewhere to go chill. But like I said, it's going to be more amazing having all of us together with all the diversity, all the different styles. Because when they do come out, they're not just like, I'm not really into that, or I'm not really into that. They come out, they see everything, like, oh man, everybody's here. Let's go check out this, check out that. And so that's what's going to be the plus side to all of it. Just all of us unifying like that and just coming together and being able to bring that out.
Great point.
And that's our biggest thing is catching the eye of the youth. Come out, hang out. We're gonna start doing this. What are you guys doing later? You know, what do you guys got going on this weekend? You know, everybody's usually nothing. You know, people are kind of quiet. You got to get them out of their shell. Got to get them more involved. And be like, look, express yourself. Bring out your passion. Bring out your art. Bring out whatever you have inside. You know, because that's what everybody has. You know.
Yes.
And we just got to show it. We got to let them shine. I mean,
More of this town than party.
Yes.
Exactly. You know, and that's just the biggest thing. Show them, you know, life ain't just about, you know, getting older and then hanging out with friends, making the wrong choices.
Yeah.
Drugs, you know, alcohol, getting into the wrong things, and then just your life's just spiraling down.
Yes.
But no, there's so much more to it. You got to tap into that potential.
Yeah.
You got to show them that, hey, man, you matter.
The camaraderie and everything, yeah.
Exactly. And so that's just the biggest thing. I'm very passionate about it. Sorry.
For sure. That's why I asked everybody to this table.
Yeah.
For that reason.
And I'm not sure if I remember you from the Armory. Do you know Joe Chiano? You know, and when they had all the event there, the Center for Sharing and all that.
All that,
I was part of all that when I was a kid.
And I was probably like way smaller. You were probably way older.
And so I had so much mentorship there and stuff with the youth community and everything. And I've never seen nothing like that in Walla Walla since then. And that was so cool because when I was a kid, I was unfortunately heavily influenced by gangs and into a lot of, you know, bad things that I shouldn't have been doing. And being part of that organization, when I went there, there was a lot of rival gang members and everything like that, but it was a community organization where everybody was coming together. Doug Barron put that on and everything, and I think it was awesome. I mean, you know, a lot of people were always questioning, like, man, you come out a lot and you're the only one that's, you know, from a rival gang that's, you know, not really, you know, part of it. But you know, I was so young and kind of confused, and, you know, I did run with one certain kind of group, but I didn't want to really be part of that. That wasn't me, you know, and that's just the way I was raised and who I was raised around and everything. And so I just put myself out there, and I was like, man, I'm going to go to these events. I'm going to hang out. I don't care who's there. I'm not scared of nobody. I'm going to put it in God's hands, just put myself out there, and whatever happens, happens. And it was amazing, you know. I mean, a lot of people that we didn't get along with, hang out with, found out they're great people, you know. Everybody just coming together, just, you know, that difference, you know, where whose family's who and who you hang out with and stuff. But in the end, it was amazing because all the gang and street stuff didn't matter. You know, all that dividedness didn't matter because when we all came together, it was some great time.
And I think to add to that, that's why I think it was such a great place to be at, is because even though you knew somebody was not the person you would normally hang out with, to have an area where you can put all the talents, because there was, you know, there was rock there was people who played soccer, there was people who were good at pool, shooting pool, like there was all kinds of that you didn't have time to be like, well, because you open your mind. It opens your mind to different things. Like, hey, maybe I like that over there. Or the person that you thought you had, you know, you find like, oh, hey, you like this kind of music? Yeah, like I like this kind of music. You know, you start to find a different element. And that's what was dope and why I'd like to bring that as well back. And I was telling Peter, man, we need something like that where people, like, even if they, whatever path you guys had, like, you know, if you bring your talent and you find your talent in yourself, that it distracts from the other things. And then you realize, you know, I don't really want to be part of that, you know, because I'm tired of having to run into somebody and be like, oh, like either you walk the same way you have beef or you walk around each other, you know, and instead you were like, you could dress the way you dress and I dress the way we dress, but we're listening to Diana Ross right now. Like that kind of thing, like it just was something like that. So that would be dope. And going on that, and I would like to, with Peter one time, because for me, the first time I went out of the zone of Walla Walla into Portland, I didn't know what to expect and what to do. And the first thing I went to, my father took me, was a lowrider show. The lowrider show was what got me into knowing other breakers, other poppers. Because popping and lowrider have gone together in so many ways. And sometimes I hear, when I hear the lowrider scene, like especially downtown last year, and I'm like, man, I'm hearing like Zapp and Rogers, I'm hearing all these things, and I'm like, man, it would be dope to have that. And you know, I think it would be dope to do a show with you guys and let the community come out on their own, because that's what we did when it was over there. They just put on music, hey, whoever, and sometimes you find OGs
cookies that come out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, like, you know, like,
Cool.
because now they have a platform.
Yes.
Now they have somewhere to represent who they are. And so I think, and the more we put it out there, the more people will start showing up.
Yeah.
Well, Cookie, for our car show on October 11th, we'd love to have you popping, bro.
Yeah.
that'd be great.
Would
Come
be
by.
sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd love everyone that's.
I used to break dance too back in the day.
Rekindle that flame.
Hold on. Help me with my bike first.
We'll do both.
Okay, cool.
I got a question, if you remember, because one of the things that we were talking about at the Feed the Fam event last night in Washington Park was like, there's this gap, right? So I know just from the oral tradition and listening to people like Alberto and others that there was a time, I want to say late 90s, early 2000s, when, was it Center for Sharing?
Yeah.
And then there were jams at the National Guard Armory,
Mhm.
and then like, at the underground. Like,
That was the first battle that was in Walla Walla.
Yeah.
yeah, it was
Sick.
like Jack Whittington.
It was at the underground. Yeah, Jack,
Upstairs.
it wasn't a punk venue first. It was a play
Yeah,
dancing
we were-
stuff.
But the judges were
Yeah.
punk judges. Oh, what?
Like yeah, like I wasn't born punk first. I was hip hop first
Yeah,
for sure.
that's hilarious.
Yeah, it was awesome.
But there's a time like when I've asked people like what was happening before that in the 90s, there's not a lot of information. And then there's a guy named Angel Gonzalez who said that he was part of a crew, and I can't remember the name of the crew, but I think they were doing tugging sets and routines at lowrider shows, and I don't have the details. He would be the person to ask, so shouts to Angel Gonzalez if you hear this. But I think they were hitting shows like between Tri-Cities and Yakima, like Sunnyside, Grandview, Prosser, like those towns in there, and they would do routines and sets.
Yeah,
and I
at
think
the
that,
Lowrider shows, and I
Yeah.
talked to them too, and yeah, they were like the pioneers here in Walla Walla, because there was a couple of him and another group, and then the groups from Tri-Cities, and they, you know, because breaking back then it wasn't like how it is now.
Exactly.
It was like you represent yourself, and like you want to dominate, you want to be the best of the best. So there was rivals all the time.
Because back then, street cred mattered.
Right.
There was no phones back then.
Yeah,
You had to show yourself.
Exactly.
And lowrider shows were the only places they could do it at,
Yeah.
really, because there wasn't a whole lot of like battles like there is now that you can go to like to some of the events, the get down, the beat down, all these things. Back then you didn't have nowhere to like show your skills unless you were downtown and threw carpet down. You're like, this is who I am.
Hopefully, say they don't kick you out.
Yeah.
But that was the same back growing up in North Carolina, in the South. It was the same vibe. The culture of hip hop was very much the same. It was the lowrider scene always was a huge part of our upbringing in hip hop culture, even in North Carolina coming up in it, right?
Yeah, and I think that's what's dope about bringing this all together is hopefully Walla Walla see what we see. We want this to be.
We stopped being
Yes,
forced
like this is
underground.
not like I'm saying there isn't this going on there.
Right.
I was like, dude, this is a community, and I was like, and those people that are looking at us like, dude, what the heck, like what, like it's just a bunch of gangsters, it's just a bunch of this. I was like, you know what, your kids are actually enjoying this.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Let it grow. I was like, don't stop them because your views are different than
Right.
But if we change your kids' view, your view might change.
Yes.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And that's what we're trying to hit up is because we're getting old. I was like, I've been hip hop for so long. I'm gonna break. I can't even break anymore. Like,
Literally breaking.
Doing it too long. But to get them involved and have this continue. Forth. And not let it die.
And that's what inspires me with the younger generation. They're putting their songs out at a younger age. Like they have the internet.
Yeah.
They're putting their songs out there. Like we believe in talent greater than skill. Like, like if you got something, just put it out.
You can win them over with emotion alone,
Yeah.
I promise. I'm not a singer, but you can win them with just emotion alone. Just be passionate about what you're doing. That's all it really takes. No.
Because I think one of the things I seen since I've been here in Walla Walla is that like I don't know, I always felt like there was a need for a community center, and like us as the leaders in that community center like that has always spoke to me as the space. Like when I was growing up, that's what ours was. Like the thing you guys are talking about, but it was our town's community center, and it was all the like OGs that was in there that ran the community center, right? And we respected it because we knew that they had the cred, right? Like they weren't in there just because they had so many hours in the education classroom. They was in there because they had to live the experience, right? And they was trying to give back. And I think like ever since I've been here, and I've been in parts of conversations around that very topic of like what would a community center at Walla Walla look like, right? And every time it comes up, it's one of those things where it's like people don't know, again, this side. And that's why I think if we show that, I think finding a roof that fits all the diversity would be a lot easier when people can see and understand like that we have a line outward facing in community versus just sitting behind closed doors and always talking all the time. When they sit, I think it'll be easier for us to push that kind of concept together.
I think Walla Walla is shooting itself in the foot by just promoting wine as the tourist thing, because this would bring tourism too.
Big time.
So like, this is all individual culture. Like I didn't know all this was going on either. Like how I found out about the punk scene was, I grew up in rough areas too, and kind of I wanted out of that. And when I found like a group of kids that were making music, I tried to put myself in their vicinity, and I finally wore the right shirt or something, and like finally got told like, oh yeah, we're in a band. That band's cool, but this band's better. And they took me to the house, and luckily, the guy I met had like, his parents had him covered, and he would bring us kids that didn't have that to his house to jam, and that's how like I started my first band and played in front of Hop Hoop. That would have all never happened if I would have met. I probably would have been still in the rough neighborhoods, with my family over there getting into trouble. It was mainly just wanting to find that outlet. And yeah, it's right. Over there, moshing, you could be aggressive. It's not aggressive, but it's where you can just let it all out. And that's like, one of the biggest reasons I did it. I was outside of it for a while doing art, and I forgot how it was. And I didn't really want to do music, but when I came back and, not immediately, it was an overnight thing, but now just looking back at it, like, wow, this has grew from a backyard to filling up a garage, to filling up, playing, to now we're in cahoots with Tri-Cities, and it keeps spreading. And just like, learning that, that's how, unity is how it happens. It's not trying to be, of course, I'm trying to be a good band, but I'm not trying to be better than anybody.
And it's about a movement, and I remember like growing up in the hip hop scene, and the way that I got to enjoy and really understand the definition of hip hop was just always about, it's bigger than the individual artist, the individual producer. It's about the movement, because the movement brings back the resources for everybody. Therefore, it takes everybody to be a part of the movement, like this table, right? And that's how we bring all the extra resources and things back to Walla Walla to help our community, right? The way we do it. And so that's why I agree with you that it's bigger than just the individual thing, right? And, I try to, when I go out and to our community every single day, I have to remind myself of that every morning. The work I do today is about the movement. It's bigger than me. So it's just those kind of things. And I think that one of the hardest things, though, for me, and again, not to make things negative, but just to be very truthful, I think that's one of the things that has been the hardest for me in this community at the same time. I've run across so many talented people in our community that's all about like, I'm gonna save our town. I'm gonna be one. Why? Like, there's so much help.
Exactly.
Why? Why
If we work together, we can all save our town.
Right. But it's sad, right?
Yeah.
So, and again, not to turn the conversation negative, but just to be 100% transparent, I think a lot of those showing this kind of collaboration effort will help others see, because everybody learns different. sometimes you can have a conversation with people and it might not hit the right way, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean they bad or they don't want to do it. It's just most of the time you got to show them a different way. So my heart and hope is that more people see us having this conversation and working together and following through. They'd be like, oh, that's what everybody's talking about. I want to be a part of that. It
Motivate
becomes
them.
infectious, yeah, right? You know what I mean? So that's what I see a lot of too in our community.
Yeah, it's great how the youth is more accepting than they used to be too. Like
Yes.
certain
Oh,
groups,
gosh.
certain groups are mingling more. You know.
Yeah, I admit when I was like first in the punk, it was not very like that. It was not as open as it was now. We gotta have to fight to bring it here.
I think being visual and seeing doing these types of things too, like what you guys are doing, pulling up, showing up, and making it so that younger people can see is important, because I think in this town there's a lot of people that don't think that they can do anything in this town. Like there's really talented individuals, but they think they need to go to Hollywood to blow up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Instead of blow Walla Walla up. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that's what is so cool about this, is we're all interested in making this
Exactly.
that. You know what I mean?
I've seen a lot of the youth like with a lot of potential with music, you know, or anything, art or anything.
Yeah.
But their focus is like somewhere else in their, you know, and I hate to keep bringing it up with the party scene.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I've met so many young people that actually have abilities and talents and stuff.
Yes.
And if they knew that like there was a community for that, like a bigger, you know, community, all of us together, they could, you know, feel like a part of something that was bigger than just, you know, yeah.
Yeah, on behalf of what he said, like I feel like the younger community, it's like kind of like also like under it's like I guess like substance abuse, and it's like it kind of ruins community because then you get tied to that, and then you get into that harder stuff, and then you get slowly out of the community, and then everyone kind of falls apart because like oh, this person that's really talented that's keeping the scene together is like we're doing this stuff that's not good. So I feel like keeping the scene a little clean, you know, like trying to, you know, kind of help people out, like that on behalf of me and Ish, we're part of the straight edge movement, so I don't drink no drugs.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I feel that's
Respect
a
to that.
big,
Right.
it's a big help to know that I don't have to worry about anything going wrong, you know, like getting addicted or getting like
The unpredictability of it all,
yeah.
There's nothing worse than wasted talent.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for you to drop that.
Yeah, I feel like I've met so many people that I've been friends with that have, you know, kind of lost themselves in like just like drugs.
Sorry, man.
Just
Me
kinda
too,
sucks.
bro.
Yeah.
It
Sucks
sucks.
Party
to see
culture.
it. Yeah, it kind of sucks to see them kind of like slowly like lose that talent. You know?
Yeah.
Just stripped away from like whatever it is that they're in, music, art, all that.
I think it's cool also for people to be able to have a path to recovery without exiting the community.
Yeah.
I think there's a mistaken binary.
And I'll be honest, I had struggled, and I made my way back to the community. There was a time where I had no business being in it, and I had to go through my struggles to come back, and I'm glad I was accepted, you know, with open arms, and
That's huge.
it's very huge,
Yeah.
And I think that's why this
That
thing
is.
is so important, because it's crazy how, and I was telling Robbie as well, and it's mainly like it starts now at 12, 13 years old to about, 19. It's crazy how many doors close in this community, but yet they have access to the other things.
Yes.
So like one of the big ones is like this town doesn't like murals and stuff like that.
Right.
We need more of them. And it goes with wine and stuff like that. You know?
Downtown has become a cult in a way.
Yeah.
They won't let cultures.
It's gentrified.
Yeah,
Even like the octopus store when they had
oh man, there we go. Yes. Bro, like as an
Homie Bob,
artist,
he said they just went and painted over it overnight.
Yeah, that's
Now
that's
it's
Illuminati stuff.
Yeah,
man.
it
That's
is.
gross.
It is.
Well, and that's why I used to get so mad at people in the community. And I started telling them, like, dude, you can't have my culture and don't accept our people.
Exactly.
Like, dude, what is that? Like, so we can, let me get this straight. We can have graph writers graph on canvases put them at your wine show for you to sell to rich people.
Right.
But you don't want us to be a part of the physical show. Like, that's not okay.
Exactly.
Right? Like, dude.
Man, when I
Like,
was-
right?
Yeah.
I agree, man.
Yeah.
When I was selling art in the wineries, it was so unfulfilling because no youth would see them. And that's
Right.
mainly the stories I was trying to tell through my art were stories that I had growing up and things I wanted to tell, but no one saw them. It was just this one event that my friend Fee, she has a streetwear company called Dykeman. I didn't even know who it was. I had gotten invited to do this art show. And it was me finally letting my art be seen by the Whitman students that really introduced me like, oh, there's a punk scene. Oh, Whitman is doing it too. Like, oh, there's something going on. Like through art, I saw there was more culture because to me, art has just been a piece to bigger cultures. You know, like album covers.
Art is everywhere. Art
It's everywhere. Yes.
Hey, guys, can y'all help me thank you, Robert?
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Cedar Rain. Yes, thank you, Cedar Rain.
Thank you
so much.
It's time for it down.
Sorry, guys. No, you're good. Miss them. It's just a few for. Appreciate it.
Thank you,
Dang, bro.
Got you, man.
Ooh, man.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
One time my grandma tried to smoke a block of cheese in the smoker. That thing just melted.
For some reason, y'all did the same thing.
I don't know. I don't know if you guys are recording. I didn't want
You
to.
just leave that for now.
It's fine. You guys being a part of it is more important than a video.
Yeah, sorry, this is my wife Sylvia, my daughter Julie.
Thank you.
And that break dance, that's Magic Midnight Breakers, and Angel.
Oh, yes.
Angel is kind of related because that's Freddie's little brother.
Oh, wow.
And so Angel sister is my aunt.
What?
And so the founder of that was Jose Ortega, who was the leader.
Yeah.
But he recently passed away from his
Oh, wow.
And so they also had a girl group, and I can't remember what it was, but I remember my cousin was a part of that and stuff. And so like at Wahai, at Garrison, like I didn't dance, but like I freestyled. But I know exactly what you're talking about, and I think that would be really cool if you guys like did a break
I know.
contest.
Yes.
Car show.
That's what we want. That's what we want.
Thank you so much.
I did want to say it because I was like,
Oh, thank you for
Sylvia just added.
Crazy.
Was that captured?
We got 3 cameras working, so
Okay.
we got it somewhere.
So, and it's midnight. What was it?
Midnight Magic Breakers.
Midnight Magic
Yeah,
Breakers.
yeah, they used to be all over.
Yeah.
And they always dress the same.
Gonzalez, Gonzalez,
Yeah.
Jose Ortega, and there was several that I can't even remember. Everybody's like so.
Yeah.
I think that would be phenomenal if you guys can incorporate that into the actual.
Right? I agree.
You know what I mean?
What I would
Like,
love-
as a competition.
Yes, and what I would love if you had a chance to talk to Angel, he has pictures from back in the day that are so sick. Like the shots they took.
Yeah.
I'd love to see those on like
Yeah.
like lowrider events, because it was that old school like breaking, yeah.
I'd love a documentary talking about that and then leading into Jack in the underground, right?
Yeah,
Turning
Jack,
into a
yeah.
punk venue. 'Cause Jack was a breaker, wasn't he?
He was really into it.
Yeah, dude, I didn't know that. I thought he just like a punk guy.
And he did, and that's what he wanted to bring. Jack was always Jack was always about the community. That's why because he knew we were pumped running around.
Yeah.
Because that's what we were at that age. You know,
Yeah, of course, yeah.
we're just pumped running around trying to figure out where our energy goes. And he was like, "Hey guys, instead of running over there and getting into trouble, because I'm seeing you guys all the time with the cops, why don't you guys come to my underground, hang out over here, do things, and then we'll put a show together." And that's what blew up. And we remember punk shows. We remember.
I mean, there's bands that I love to this day that played there and I didn't even know. I wish like someone documented like the
First
documentary.
ever Battle of the Bands was such a huge show.
Oh yeah, man.
That was
you.
like
No,
my friend Raul Hernandez. I love that.
Yeah, Raul.
Yeah.
They do love Raul.
Dude, he loved that. He's like, man, I'll never forget this day. Because I think there was like 7 or so bands. Everybody was trying to get to Battle of the Bands because it was the first in a long time.
Man, he really is a part of all the lore here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's amazing how everything just comes together. And
Yeah.
once you get everybody together, like, wait a minute, I remember.
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And so, you know, I mean, that's what all of this is about. You know, having that networking. You know, I mean, without it, you know, like I say, everybody brings something different to the table. Everybody has that different experiences or different knowledge and everything. Man, it's amazing seeing this coming together like this. You know.
Well, I think I'm a firm believer, man. Community got to take care of community, brother.
Yeah.
Right? Like I've never seen a community not thrive because of community without the community taking care of itself. Right? Like I don't know. Like I know the people that live on my block. I check in on them all the time. Like I got a bunch of retired people that live on my block. Like,
and that makes a difference.
It makes a huge difference.
It means a lot to them.
Exactly. Right. But at the same time, it's teaching my 15-year-old daughter, my 11-year-old son, this is how you be a part of community. This is how you show up. You know what I mean? And who am I to sit around and complain about community in front of them, but not yet
do
be in
something
community?
and do something.
Right.
Do something about it, you know?
Exactly. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's just a different feeling, you know, when you get that acceptance and stuff. Like when we first moved into our place where we're at right now, you know, we had some of the neighbors come by, you know, old school, give you, hey, we brought you a gift, we brought you a pie, you know.
Yeah.
It's like I never experienced that before. Like, oh, all right, yeah, no, thank you. You know, that's amazing, you know, just showing, you know, there's that love, there's that
It's a family.
yeah, exactly, you know, and it's stuff like that's amazing, especially, you know, when you never experience that kind of thing. You know, just you hear about how, you know, people can be and stuff, you know, but you're not used to it. It's like that's what we need more of in this town. That's what we need more of with everybody.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, for sure.
And thank you for bringing the lowrider to the community because back in our time we were like, man, it's so dope.
Awesome.
Like that was the one thing that we loved seeing when I grew up in the labor camp was seeing the lowriders come through.
Yeah.
And it was like as a kid you're just like because I mean honestly nowadays all cars look alike to me.
Yeah.
To me all cars look alike. But you see, you know, a lowrider coming through and especially if they got like their hydraulics done,
Right.
every kid is just like they want to follow it like it's like the paletero. Where's that lowrider going? You know?
Yeah.
And it sparks an interest.
It
You know,
does.
and that's you know, that culture is such a dope culture. I don't know, it's probably not the same, but the Lowrider movie like got me even more into it.
Yeah,
Because
that's great.
I mean, the amount of time, everything they put into that is not just the car.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and the same with our braking, you know, it's just like, well, you know, it's the same thing. It's like, but you put the same as, you know, the funk music or the funk music is what you put into it.
Well, I
You
still
know-
the hip hop side too.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And it all goes together. It really does.
Yeah.
So y'all made an impression last night because there were, I'm going to get the streets wrong, but I think you were on probably 6th and making a left onto Cherry Street to go to Washington Park.
Yeah.
And I pulled up to that intersection at the same time. And it was this visual impression
Right.
of all the lowriders getting together, slow left turn one by one, and the traffic around there glitched out. Who was like made a right turn early, and somebody else like hit their brakes. You guys were in this slow flow of your own thing, and everything else around is freaking out because
Everybody just like, whoa.
because we don't get that visual. That's not typical, and we don't get that unity. But you could tell like. They're going together.
Yeah.
And they're not breaking. That was a succession of left turns in slow motion, and the whole like those four corners stopped for that, and that was just a beautiful thing.
The way you guys pulled into the park.
Yeah,
See,
exactly.
Yes. Yeah, that's what we try to do when we come out and do our stuff. Like I say, we try to put on as big of a display as we can to kind of catch the eye and catch everybody, get people like, hey, wait, what's that? You know, let's go check that out. You know, let's go see what they're doing, you know. And especially if a lot of the community hasn't really heard about the events that we're doing or anything, once they see the big display, they see everybody, they're like, wait a minute, I didn't know this was going on in town, you know, and then calling people, hey, come down, kids, come down, check this out, they got this going on, you know, and trying to get more people involved. And that's why when we do go out and do stuff, you know, we try to make it as big of a display as we can to catch everybody's eye, catch the community's, you know, acknowledgement, be like, hey, we're out here having fun. We got the family out. We got everybody out. You know, come check it out, and it makes a difference. It honestly does. And so that's one of our biggest goals when we do stuff. You know, not just to show up quietly or show up and just trying to just be there. You know, we want everybody to know. We want everybody to see. We want people to be involved. And It makes a big difference. And then when they come out and they see it's not just lowriders, they see the kids, they see the families, they see everything. Like, wait a minute, this is something different. I feel comfortable, you know. I feel like I want to be here, you know, and that's what we want.
I love that.
And it's a beautiful culture that I think they're afraid of.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I can't wait to see them
Yeah.
middle of downtown.
Yeah.
You know,
Me
at
either.
the what is it?
Set it on the punk show, yeah.
Yeah, like because
Me too.
when I saw them, what was it, 2 years ago? They had them way out in the corner.
Mhm.
You know,
Right.
the concrete. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, but for some reason, everybody was going over there.
Everybody.
But look,
Everybody was going over there because they're not used to. Because Walla Walla did just try to keep it plain and simple.
Yeah.
But every culture at this table has experienced that from our downtown.
Yeah.
That exclusion.
Yeah.
Every
That's what
culture
we
at
need
this
to
table
say.
has experienced that culture,
Yeah.
that experience from one point in time from our downtown. And it's like, it's the craziest thing, like being in spaces and having conversations with older people that are the gatekeepers of our community. And I'm always baffled when I gotta sit at a table with a bunch of people that's unplugged from our community that hold the keys. First of all, I'm like, how's that even possible? That's the first question I ask.
It makes me a little mad.
Yeah, I get that all the time. Like,
That's a little
But
bit
then I'm
sus.
like,
Yeah,
and
it's
then I
hella
have to be like, well, how are you qualified to say who belong down there? Who don't? Like, make that
Because
make
like
sense.
someone mentioned, the tourists want to see that. They
Right.
want to see the culture down there.
Yeah.
They come
Right.
You know what I mean?
Walla Walla has an identity and it's not wine.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And again, I mean, we could probably sit here and name a million reasons why this is amazing, but that's a lot of too why I ask everybody to this table, because it's like, dude, I can't hide anymore.
No.
We're not trying to hide it.
Right, exactly.
We
I told
need
these
to
guys the
be
same
heard,
thing.
man.
I'm like, dude, we done, man.
Yeah.
We done.
I mean, what punk started as is were the youth tired of all the old bands doing like, you know, they were hippies doing psychedelic music. They were tired of the drugs. They were tired of the government system. And it was the youth. That's why they're like youth of today, youth groups. Like these bands were the voices of that youth and brought some of that out. You know, like they changed their culture with speaking up. And, you know, that's why I get a little passionate when, you know, partying takes over the scene, because it's like, no, we're forgetting why this scene exists.
Exactly.
This scene exists for the youth. We can't be older bringing stuff in like that because
we're
the
21,
youth
we
need
can
to
drink, we're
yeah,
gonna drink,
yeah,
you know,
exactly.
this and that, stuff. You got kids there like, man, oh, so that's
No.
that's what they eventually, that's what party.
That's how you get a strummer. That's how you get a straight edge in your
Yeah.
scene, which is good, I think. You
Yeah,
know?
it is, and I think it's like, yes, have your parties. We all been young, but have them the correct way.
Yeah.
Because they're
I'm
watching.
not straight
They're
edge.
watching. They're watching the first simple reason
Yeah.
to shut it
Right,
down.
exactly.
It's
It's always been that way.
right?
Mhm.
So it's like, if you're gonna have an event, make sure your exits are on point. Your
Yeah.
fire extinguishers. If
Yeah.
you need
Have
permits
structure.
at a place,
Yeah.
make sure you got your permits. Make sure, and it's like teaching the youth how to go through that whole process.
Just how to play ball.
Yeah, like,
So
yeah.
they'll push
like,
you
know what I
underground
mean?
again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not push you, they'll shove you.
And
Yeah.
it's wild because I remember when I first started Walla Walla Music Organization, and some of the young people that I was helping was getting to that place where they was recording more and they was getting ready to go out and start doing shows in the community. And I was loving this. But I found them performing at some of the like most chaotic places, and I was like, yo, let me teach you how to put it on a legit venue.
Yeah.
They wanted no parts of it.
Yeah.
Right, and it like broke me a lot because I'm like, wait, what? You don't get to complain about community, but then not want to know how to do it the right way, right? Like that's messed up, right? Like, of course, you're not going to ever get anything, right? But I think because the community, because the city has never invested in youth, at least since I've been here in a way that I feel like they should. I think a lot of the youth don't even trust even doing it the right way.
Yeah, that's
Right.
They have animosity.
Yeah,
Right.
animosity.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that there's people in the punk group that truly hate the wine scene. Like,
Right.
they truly want nothing to do with it. But I mean, we also got to be honest. That's like such a big part of Walla Walla too. Like, I had to do art within those scene, and yeah,
Right.
it's
You gotta collab.
Yeah.
You gotta collab, yeah. Like, and I think it's different when you have one person saying that to a group of youth, but when you got a group of leaders saying that to you, it becomes different, right? Because now there's more diversity for the connection of the resource of that youth. Like
Yeah.
I might not get through that youth, but Jay might get through to that youth, or Daniel might get, or Peter, right? And me, it doesn't really matter who gets through as long as one of us can connect and redirect and guide, right?
Exactly.
You
That's the
know?
point of the village, is just like the parents that, we're trying to teach kids that don't want to listen, but they'll listen to somebody else. I mean, you try to teach your kids, but
Yeah.
like, I said something, and he said something, but because it's him, you're gonna listen to him.
Exactly.
But that's also what we need as well.
Exactly.
It's like, hey, say the same thing, just saying it a little different, and it changes their mind.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, no, I agree. Jason said that earlier. It takes a village.
Oh man.
And I think the biggest thing is showing up and supporting each other.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
yes.
the community is like not just them, but us as well.
Yeah.
Like showing up for each other
Yeah.
and bring, because you may know people I don't know.
Yeah,
You may
yeah,
know people I don't know. But we start bringing all that, and then people are be like, man, what's going? It's kind of like when you go somewhere and it looks empty, you don't want to go there.
Right.
But you go somewhere where it's like, oh man, what's going on over there?
Yeah,
There's a whole
go
bunch
check
of
it
people.
out.
Hey.
That's what we need to,
We
start
could
doing.
like stuff and share stuff on Facebook, but until we're there, you're not part of it.
Exactly.
Until you're right there, and that's like what I tell people at the punk scene. Like you could like it and share it. That's okay, and that's what it's for. It's for everybody. But until you're there and part of the culture and helping everyone else, then you're truly a punk.
Yeah, that's what makes a difference. Like for yesterday's event, I already had plans to do a car show over in Prescott that they were doing. And when Roddy approached me with this and everything, and I was just thinking about it, and it's just in the back of my mind, I was like, you know what? Car show's coming and go. We're gonna have plenty of them. This is something that's gonna be for the public. This is the event.
Man,
This is
for our community. Thank you.
Yeah, I was like, you know what?
Big
I'm
time.
gonna skip that show, man. We're gonna go out. We're gonna
Cool,
represent.
man.
We're gonna
Rep.
show up. We're gonna have that support.
I jumped like 12 feet in the air when he texted me today. I talked to him before, like, Ronnie, I got you. I'm gonna bring the calls through.
It looked tough as hell when you got
it did look so.
I was like, dude.
Yeah, that's what makes a difference. Like
It
you say,
does.
I mean, there are certain priorities, and when we're trying to do something like what we're doing, it's a priority. Over anything, because we're trying to bring out everything that our passion, our love, our love for the community, our love for the youth, everything in general. And so, that's what matters, 100%.
The unity, man, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
And I would ask this too. And sorry, I know I'm always playing devil's advocate, but it's through lived experience. So trust me, because this table is beautiful, and it's so easy for everybody to show their love and appreciation and their grace when things are going well. But I can tell you this: communication is important.
Yeah.
So what I mean by that is, the punk scene is having their show, right? I'm just using y'all for example. Say if they do something, they're doing something in their show that's not bad for the community, the outlook. They just might be doing something that look different from the way I would do it. I gotta remember to not get upset with them because it looks different, right? And be like, well, fine, I'm not gonna go support them, right? Like, I still need to show up and support them,
100%.
right? And just like if I would ask that we all be mindful of each other in that way, right? Because I think that's a lot of times, like, you see so many good collectives come together, but the reason they break so quick is because they never have the full transparency of what does agree to disagree look like.
Exactly.
Right? Until you into the turmoil of it.
Exactly. In
And
that
then-
situation.
Right? And it is not good most of the time. And I don't want to see that happen to us. I want this to be the start of a first step of just strength building.
Yeah.
Even if one of us are I might want to use this kind of XLR, and somebody else say, well, y'all should use that XLR, and I'll be like, no, I want to use this one. Okay. Well, use what you want to use, man. I don't really care. I got you anyway, right? It's just that kind of stuff. Like, because again, like, I'm so paranoid about that in our community because I've seen it so much in our community.
Yeah, I think it's partially because we're so small too.
Yeah. And it's very, it's very popularity driven.
It's very, and it turns personal a little too quick.
Yeah.
It's super small.
Like, somebody cannot even be here, and somebody here can tell them something, their side of it, and now that person is mad at me when they haven't even heard my side of it. It's like, what? Like for real, like so, you know, and again that ripple effect then takes away from the impact of the work we're trying to do in community, and now you got people that won't show up because this person said this, that, the third, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just making sure that we're when the same way we communicate when we agree to disagree, we remember why we're doing this, right? Like and who we're doing it for, and showing up for each other is more important, right? And that's just my opinion. I wanted to put that piece out there.
Yeah, and I think there's sometimes that direct contact is the solution.
Yes.
Sometimes like I don't know what's coming. Like for example, I go to something and I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to this like to see this band play, or I'm going to this event for this reason, and then someone I wasn't thinking about shows up there, and there's a real conversation that we haven't had. And now there I am, like
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, hey, can we take a walk outside?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, problem solved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just direct contact. Then
Yeah.
there's a thing, I don't know what y'all's experience is, but for me, like, I always escalate when I'm in solitude.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about that conflict.
Sure.
Of course.
But I'm not looking at that person in the eyes.
Right.
And then as soon as I look them in the eyes,
Yes, exactly.
just about
Yeah.
9 degrees where I was.
Yeah.
And then we're talking, and then all of a sudden problem solved because both of us are doing the very thing that you're recommending that we do, which is just like
Communicate.
show up for each other's stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, communicate with each other. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Thank
I'm
you.
just underlining that.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I agree.
Show up.
Thank you. It's important, man. It's important. Again, I didn't think this was gonna come through the way it did, to be honest. So,
That just shows you how much we want to change stuff.
Yeah.
right. And again,
difference.
I'm tired. Are y'all tired?
Yeah.
And I'm old. Like you just talking about breaking, like dude, I'm old.
getting
I'm
any
rocking
younger.
chair. Good to me right now, right? I got a nice big rocking chair on my front porch, and I love that thing, right? But I don't. Again, I get to know like if my son wants to grow up and he's about low riders, I want to be able to know that he got.
Damn, yeah, that's so
If
true.
my son or my daughter grow up and they want to do punk, I want to know that they got community.
Yeah.
And that I can feel safe. That's gonna accept them, right? You know what I
Hip
mean?
hop,
Hip hop,
hip's huge,
right?
man.
Like,
It's almost like we're the street school of life.
yeah, that's what we
That's
need.
what
Exactly.
we're the street school.
Absolutely.
Right.
Like hip hop showed me, oh, you could focus on something, and then when I met like someone that made punk, I was like, oh, that's like how they make beats or something.
Yeah.
That's why I always love them old movies where, you know, they're out there trying to reach out to the community, like Never Back Down.
Yeah.
There's just so many
Yeah.
different stuff like that, you know, Dangerous Minds, and just, you know, your teachers making
Only the strong.
Yeah,
Only the strong.
Stand and deliver.
People making that difference, you know,
Yeah.
in people's lives, you know, they really need it and everything when they're so lost and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the biggest thing. I'm the biggest advocate on that.
Oh, yeah,
Like I
for
said,
sure.
I've had that in the beginning of my life, and that's honestly the only thing that probably saved me as a person, you know, growing up and stuff, and not completely going down the wrong road and stuff. And so being able to be part of that, being able to be part of this and everything is just more than a dream come true, you know. I mean, it's
It does suck. That road is easier to go down
It
than
is.
the good
It
road.
is.
But
It's
nothing
right
good
there.
comes easy.
I know,
Exactly.
right? You're
Thank
right,
you for
man.
bringing that up.
You're
That's
right.
so true. Yeah, that is so true.
Hey, I'm the man.
But the youth will have something, you know,
Yeah.
awesome once, you know,
That's where
now that we're
because
all, you know,
Yeah.
doing this together.
with the wine
it'll
and
be
the
easier to
blues
get into
scene,
something positive.
they cater to the older people. Where are those fan? When they, I don't want to be mean, but when they pass, there's no more fan base there.
Exactly.
It's like the youth are the future.
Yeah.
Always has been.
Oh yeah, always, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and I think it's time now more than ever, because I can tell you this, like, for a long time, we've been going into the schools with our after-school program, providing free classes after school with 21st Century, and they lost their funding just like a lot of after-school programs in our town.
Yeah.
So schools get ready to start back up, man, and it's going to look crazy for students, especially students and parents and families that need that kind of wraparound support.
That's why
Right.
outreach will be important.
Right,
I
and
think.
nobody from a financial standpoint, from a state level, from a federal level, is talking about funding that's going to make sure that those programs happen in our community. So now, even more so, like, I feel like it'll be dope to have us outward facing, so these families can start knowing like there are organizations like us out here that's doing work with youth the best we can. Because I can tell you this, like our music program, the community has truly taken care of us. $5 here, $10 there, $20, and we've gotten what we needed. There was never no abundance of surplus, but we always had what we need to make work with the work we do with the kids, right? And so I think now showing this to our community would give a lot of families some hope.
Yeah.
Right? Like from the perspective of their options for their kids, because we got so many families in our community right now, like I said, that rely on after school programming because they work till 5, they work till 5:30. That's no longer gonna have that piece, and childcare is so expensive. You have kids, you know what I'm talking about.
I do.
But like, you know, and so, I mean, I think, again, this is just more ways that if we start showing up and showing this unity, I feel like community will reach out and help us get the things we need as resources to do the work that we love to do.
Why not when we're doing something positive, you know?
Exactly,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying,
For real.
And there's so many outlets in Walla Walla, you know, people that have the resources
Yes.
and ability.
Yeah.
Like you say, it's finding them, tapping
It's
into
just
them.
like, how do we get
Yeah.
the families that need this stuff? How do we get their eyes on this?
And I'm glad for this because also I noticed, because I'm always out in the community, that there's always things, when they say family event, it doesn't mean teenagers. And I think why I think this is important is because I think this is where that we're trying to be. Because again, and I take it to like sometimes they're lost and they just want to focus on them because they're put up to always like, okay, we're not old enough to go to our parents to go to wine, but we're not young enough to go to the
Exactly.
Where do we?
Exactly.
And I think that's why it's important for this to happen. Why I look forward to it because that's the community we're trying to reach. That like 13 to like because they're the ones that are and why they fall into what they fall into.
Yes, I agree.
And I also enjoy this because I was talking. I forgot what his company is, but I got another friend Leo, and he goes to Seattle, and they're doing things because what they're trying to do is we've become so enclosed into shutting our windows and our doors now that's why also we don't see kids running around like we used to. Because but if we build a big community. You're like, hey man, like it's cool you're out there because I know that this guy knows my kids there, and I know like that's the community as well. Not just what we're doing, but outside of that, like just building that community to be able to open our windows and our doors and be like, yo, this is our community. This is this is our spot. This is our faith for our kids. Because a lot of us have kids. So that's what we look forward to. And that's what would be nice as well because he's doing that in Seattle. And he's from Walla Walla.
Right.
And I'm like, what do we do? And I want to get you to connect with him because he does a lot of the, going out to the communities and giving food out.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't have to bring other, because a lot of times like, well, what's the catch?
Yeah, what's the catch?
It's always a catch in Walla Walla.
Always is.
Because you got to do this in order for this, like, you got to listen to a sermon for an hour.
Right.
Like, no, just come and be yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
And watch the Lowrider guys.
Just let it be a movie night.
Listen to the, and when we say family event, it really means family. It doesn't mean exclude your teens, but that's mainly who we want to get their attention.
And that's what so many people left last night saying. Like, because I didn't give some speech or thing, and I was like, no, you just eat.
I like the fact that you say we're just doing it just because.
We're doing it to eat, right?
We're just chilling, we're being family.
And so many people left, and they said that very same thing. They were like, it was just so, even I had some of the older people there that was like, why are we doing the summer series downtown? Why aren't we doing these downtown? Right?
The summer feed down.
But because I agree with you on that. Like, I agree. But again, it takes all of us because I don't have all the answers, and I hope no one here feel like they have all the answers.
We got a lot of souls trying to make it.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So I'm just trying to be a team player and bring what I have to the table to put into the gumbo. So we can stir it up and be like, community, man. Like, again, because I can tell you, dude, and again, not to make everything about race and things, but I have to say that I've lost a lot of funding in this town because I was a black man doing the things I did.
I can see that.
I believe you. You're not doing lines.
Like, I can't tell you how
you're
much,
not on their side.
Man, my wife and I have spent tens and tens and tens of thousands of dollars to put into the program that I run to make sure kids got what they got.
Yeah.
Right? Because why? Because this town did not.
Yeah.
And where I've seen people go to that same support source, haven't even started a program, look different than me. They walk out with a fat check.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, wait, what happened? How you do that? Like, time out. I got Jabber. Right? But again,
Unfortunate.
and so I think, trying not to hold that grudge. I think the only way I can work without holding that grudge, I needed to put myself around real community.
Yeah.
And this is what that looks like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Man, thank you what you've done, because if you didn't have Walla Walla Music Board, I wouldn't have met these guys, Like, Ishii has taught me a lot to help me become a better punk, I guess you could say. There was some stuff in that, it's like, yeah, you're right. We need to step that aspect of it up.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't have met you without these three.
Yeah.
So it goes both ways.
And thank you for putting initiative to it, like just not saying it, but just doing it.
Yeah.
A lot of times we've had people in the past that say it, but they never, so
You're
people
so
are
right,
going
man.
through with it and be like, no, this needs to happen. Because it really did need to happen.
Well, it needs to happen. It needs to stay sustainable with this group. And we need to figure out, and I know it's going to be a big ask of you guys, but I mean, we almost need this like once a month check-in.
Yeah,
for sure.
I agree.
That would make
us that's at this table are coming in and checking in,
Absolutely.
having a conversation, and again, not trying to make it formal or nothing, but I think they if we're trying to build together, I think we need to have some time.
We have to take action.
Brainstorm that table. Because October's going to be here before you know it, and we're going to need to continue figuring out what you guys need for trunk or treat. When you was talking about, I was talking with Jeff, I was like, dude, we should build some scary wood paintings where the kids can take the pictures. Right? Something like that. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to just need to see what you guys need, right? Before we leave today, I think you guys should talk with Dale and them to make sure that they got what they need for the punk show. Then y'all was talking about a collab at the October thing. So I think meeting to keep it sustainable, if we could meet once a month and break bread like this, man. I think it'll keep us tight and keep us informed, and really, again, not trying to make something formal out of this or force somebody to do something they don't want to do. But I mean, again, in my opinion, and tell me if I'm wrong and you guys got other ideas, I'm totally open to it. But I think again, communication is going to be everything, and not just a one-off, right?
Yeah.
And helping each other promote each other's stuff. Because what you were saying, I think to add to that, I think that a lot of kids don't really know that these events are going on.
Yeah,
reaching them is a problem. It's we could all help each other reach more people. Like with your event, we could help push that. And vice versa, right? Like for all of us.
I was a rocker fool. I know there's probably rocker fools within there,
I was a rocker fool.
Those are my first bands,
That's all to your music.
Got you, man.
But yeah, we're here to support you any way we can and be part of this 100%. Like I said before, any of you can reach out to us for anything. We're there, man. We're whatever we can do, and we're always trying to do more. And so we're always trying to do as much as we can with the community, and any kind of fundraising, any kind of anything. We're not in it for the money. We're not in it for the fame. We're in it to make that difference. We're in it to be that
culture,
difference
man.
out there, and that's what we really need.
Appreciate your hard big time. And you guys probably should exchange some contact with each other.
We should start a group chat.
And I mean, with everything how it is with technology nowadays, everybody got some platform for something, and we all have different platforms. So with all of us, supporting each other and showing what everybody's doing is going to get us out there on all those different platforms. So
we said this how we could promote that lowrider through Paul. And how we could get funding to it. Because I know you guys
And that's what I said, because we'll push it on our Walla Walla Music org side. And Park can push it on their side. And that's what I'm saying.
Our band could too.
When we start promoting the show on the 5th, it needs to have a little blurb about the donation and how to get to that part as attached to that.
And one thing with you guys, man, like what I really appreciate you guys, and man, got so much love for you guys because I have a son right now. You know, he's 23 years old. He's kind of finding himself, kind of getting himself together. And he's been in tune with you guys like so much, and I never know. He's always telling me about your bands and about the events and stuff.
Yeah, man, that makes me so happy, bro.
Yeah, just knowing, he's interested in something. You know, he's with us with everything that we do and stuff, but his true passion is kind of leaning towards you guys.
It's good to have met him.
Just knowing that, it's like, oh man, that's just it warms my heart.
Man, thank you for letting us chill with it, man. I mean, we some shows, they're like DM for an address, and I was like, he's like, oh, it's DM for address, and I was like, nah, I'll just give you the address right now.
That's what makes a difference, and just like this, like we're saying, I mean, these guys making a difference in my son's life, I mean, it shows, and I see it myself.
Yeah.
Just us being able to make differences with everybody else and doing what we can, I mean, that's what matters. And, I got a brand new baby girl that, we're going to be raising up and doing what we can. Well, Daniel got a baby girl, but she's fine too. But I mean, just getting our families and our kids involved in this stuff and just giving them that outlet and everything. That's what it's all about, And so we appreciate everything, man. 100%.
Yeah, man. Hey, like I said, any help you need, bro.
And it's crazy how that is with kids, and that's why I think it's important to be involved in everything.
Exactly.
Sometimes you think your kid's like, oh, just because I'm doing this, they're going to be into it. But all of a sudden they're like, oh, you're into that? Like, to be able to have a platform for them, to be able to like, oh, you know what, that's a good group in the community. You should, be able to let them explore. And I think that's what's good about this is kids exploring. Because sometimes you don't know. It's like going to you think you know what you're going for, but you really don't.
You got to find your mate.
It gives you a platform to be like, I think I like that, but I really like this as well. Let me go check them all out.
Exactly.
Well, and dude, that was us with WWMO. When I first started, we had a lot of the rockers that was coming to that shoot program, the instrument players. And then we had a cycle where it was just beat makers from the hip hop side. And then it flipped right back to the rockers, like it went and exploded, right? But it's that thing, right? And that's why, we worked really hard to try to make sure that it wasn't labeled. And that was one of the hardest things. When I was starting to do that work in this community, so many people was trying to call it because I come from hip hop. They was trying to say, oh, you do this beat making class. And I'm like, no, I don't do this beat making class. I'm like, what? But they kept trying to label me as that and put me in that box, right? And that was the hardest thing to try to fight against.
Nah, because you're not just you popped on one of the biggest, youngest punk bands.
But it's that thing, right? Like, and I think again, like, because now we can cross promote and share and support each other, it's gonna come from so many different directions. You can't even put a box around
Exactly.
So be out there for sure.
Exactly. It's like, and that I love, because that is true choice of the youth, right?
Yes.
With the hope and the heart of one of us is gonna catch them.
Exactly.
And they're gonna be in good hands.
Exactly.
Right.
And all of us knowing, what we're all about and everything.
Exactly.
I don't know if you're going that way. I don't know if you go that way. Nah, man, this is all family. I know where their heart's at. I know where their heart's at. I know where my heart's at. We're all here 100 for this. So.
I want to go back to something that Alberto said, which is about teens specifically in that age range, because and I'm saying this from the standpoint of a teacher as a parent. Whether we want to admit this as parents or not.
And when you share this in that context, sorry for cutting you off, share off about the team piece, that's the free piece that we do at Whitman, that the credit piece. So
Okay, I'll try to tag that on the end. But there's a thing, like there's psychological research behind this now, like whether we want to admit it as parents or not, it is the case that people define themselves independently as adults as they pull away gradually from the family unit and pull into a social unit in their peer formation, which is part of what gives people their character, their personality, how they're going to present as adults, how they're going to contribute as grown folks, what they're going to do for work, what they're going to do culturally, and that occurs in peer formation with kids their age.
Right.
whether we want it to be like a blueprint of the family or not, they're going to do their thing. And if they have resources, community like what we're talking about, constructive outlets, then they have a way to come through that phase in a fashion that's healthy and constructive. And if they don't, they'll do it anyway.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. No, that's so
Better
true.
for it to be healthy.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And what about that? Thank you.
Oh yeah, and so thanks, Alberto. So Rodney and Louis Miranda and I teach a course at Whitman College. It happens every year in the spring, so it's going to be spring of 26, and it's open to high school students who want to be a part of it. It's tuition free. The doors are open. We let people in for college credit.
And the reason I had Peter share that, because it's been one of the hardest things for us to get teams through.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's a free class with free 4 credit
I
credits.
wish I could have free credit.
You see what I'm saying?
That's
So,
incredible.
and it's like, and that's the type of guidance I think, like, it's not so much and no offense, I work at Whitman too, I teach there in the spring, but it's not about Whitman. It's about showing students like you can have relationships in community and still go get education and that kind of structure and have that kind of support and what that should look like when you're in that structure. Because the very people that you're building that relationship with in community is going to be at the front of that class teaching it to you.
Right.
Inside that same structure, right? Whether you come to my music production piece or Peter's theory piece or Louis' breaking piece, right? These are the very same faces that we're out here in the streets doing the same exact work, right? So it's just like, I think trying to teach, make sure like when we're building these relationships with these students, I always try to find a way to teach them that there's never anything wrong with education. And sometimes it's gonna come from real life and sometimes it's gonna come from a classroom setting. And you gotta be okay with both because without education, we don't really grow.
Yeah, so like me, I grew up in Chicago, right? And there was this one time when I was like in 5th grade, I became an honor roll, right? But since like, I guess the community there, you know, a lot of gang stuff out there. So if you're an honor roll, you're a nerd. You know, you get bullied, bro. You get bullied for being smart. You know, it's time to change that.
Change that. Thank you. Yes, exactly.
So that's the cool for it.
That is
cool, man.
That gives you that more opportunity to, you know, to put yourself out there and show, you know,
Open
what
doors.
your passion and everything, you know. I mean, you got to work towards it no matter what. You know, all these people are like, nah, later or something, you know, putting themselves off. And it's like, man, you could have been so far ahead. And you just let your passion out that, you know, what you really want to do, you know, instead of just worrying about what other people are thinking and what they're going to judge you as. It's just, it ain't right.
Yeah, it's not. And it's like, yeah, I agree with you on that. It's time to flip that, you know, because knowledge makes you dangerous. That power is danger, you know.
Mind is a weapon. That's what they say.
Yeah, and it's like, because you learn how to navigate, you learn how to advocate, right? Like, and a lot of times they expect a lot of our youth to not know how to do those very two things, right? How to advocate and navigate, right?
Just like you were saying, you know, I mean, he didn't want to get back into the music scene as much, you know, but then when you start tapping into it, you know, it's like, wait a minute, you know, there's something here, you know, I'm feeling this, you know, I mean, you never know
it was
until
a
you
lot,
get into it.
It was a lot bigger than I thought. I thought it was totally snuffed out, but we went to a backyard in Whitman. And we really didn't think it was much, and it was literally packed. There was no venues, no nothing. Blues is completely taken over. It's all over. Every punk band I know is doing an acoustic project. And then, we go to this and we're like, no, there's still something here. People still want this.
They do, man. I do for the sake of my kids.
Right?
Like
100%.
You know, so you know. But thank all of you for coming, man.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
It's amazing.
So I'm gonna reach out to everybody about a possible date for next month. Get up and eat. Until then, like, make sure y'all share contacts and stuff and reach out. and try to check on each other. And a lot of times it isn't even like just be mindful. I'm trying to be better at this, and I know I don't do this as much, right? But I'm just trying to, just a mere fact of just try to reach out to at least one of us at this table during the week and just, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's on the
Just
plate?
check in.
Yeah, how you doing?
Yeah, you don't
Anything
have
you-
to need something or like want something. Just reach out and say what's up.
Yeah.
Check up on each other, man. Like, I think that's again that to me. I don't know. Again, sorry for pushing them. But that's
how it should be.
That's how it should be, right? Like that's how I feel. Like that's the thing that gives me peace of mind, right? Like I do it with these guys and Brandon, who's not here.
That's what a leader does.
Shout out
man.
Face.
Well, a lot of times that's how we lose friends. I know that's like we lost 2 friends because you don't check up on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, fuck.
All of a sudden you're seeing them out in the street. You're like, and you're like, damn, I should have hit them up like 2 weeks ago. I should have hit them up like, because sometimes they just want to hear, hey man, how's it going?
Yeah, hey, how's it going?
That's all it takes.
That's all it takes.
That goes a long way, man.
Yeah.
And even if you're busy, that takes what, 10 seconds, right? And even if like you shoot back a short answer, I'm good. That's what it was meant to be.
Yeah,
'Cause
maybe
it's
that
still
changed.
lingering on the mind.
Like, hey, someone was thinking of me.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not alone.
Yeah.
I'm not dealing with this alone.
Yeah, because again, I mean, we build that tolerance, so when we do have to have uncomfortable conversation or share uncomfortable news, at least we feel like we're sharing it with people we can trust.
Exactly, somebody that cares.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Anyway, like I said, I'm just asking you guys to do a lot.
I don't know. This is what it should be.
This is what we want to do.
Exactly. And that's the great part about it. It's not something that's being pushed on. It's not something that people are just like, this is passion right here. This is what everybody, this is what we're striving for. Make that difference.
Well, thank you guys again.
Yeah, thanks for having us, man.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Right on, guys.
All right.